Hello, hello, everyone. Oh, I get some feedback. Maybe that's just in my imagination.
I don't
Let's.
think so.
You don't hear anything?
Mm-mm.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Hey, Carl. Thanks for coming in.
Hi,
Oh,
guys.
Cynthia Smith caught on right away. I'm going to use that pick me tool. It's so fun because it keeps everything random. I get to stay in the conversation instead of looking at everyone's questions. So how we're going to do it today, if you don't mind, just for fun. Hashtag Holy Spirit, exactly how I have it in it's like this. Let's see. Hashtag Holy Spirit. And all you need to do is that you don't have to write any questions in caps or anything. Well, when it comes that time. Um, but what we're going to do is do a random thing. And then when your name comes up, you write your question in real time and we answer it in real time. Actually, Kayleigh's uh, answering it for sure. So I appreciate everyone being here. This is exciting. Warrior girl. I've got to put my guys on. My girlfriend here. Cynthia. Yes. Hello. And warrior girl, goddess 113. Hey,
Mhm.
everyone. It's good. Carl, nice to see you, sweetheart. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. Yes, I'm honored. Thank you so much. Hello. We're doing hashtag Holy Spirit, all in caps. Um, You didn't know it was us? Oh, you both are back again. Yes, we are doing this every Sunday. It's like my church, actually. I never said that out loud to Kayleigh. She doesn't know it. This is like my church. But 11 o'clock Pacific, every Sunday, we were going to start visiting the upper octaves. Good. Warrior girl, you got this Holy Spirit. Hashtag all caps, Holy Spirit. Jessica Lynn, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming. And you did that too. Good, 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 good. And we have another hello to Bora Bora, my mediator. Thank you so much for taking good care of us, keeping the trolls out. And Jessica Lynn is here. Karen Doriel. All right. We've got some holy hashtag Holy Spirits in here. This is awesome. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit different today, just to keep it interesting. And Kayleigh, before we start, I want to know how you doing. How's this
I'm
energy?
I'm doing really great. I wanted to say a little word to do with how our political landscape has suddenly emerged in a whole new scenario. I don't want to harp on it a lot, but I do want to acknowledge that we saw something following the debate that became pretty clear about how things are shaping up. And what I want to address just lightly, he is basically having no place left to go except for the low road. And how I mean that is, I think before the debate, he was sort of now and again attempting to moderate his dialogue a little bit. He was sort of wanting to presume he could reach some of the middle of the ground people, the so-called undecideds and more moderate people. And that's why we would get him saying, you know, diametrically opposed views about how he's going to handle abortion and all of that. He doesn't have that option now. What happened with the debate was he basically was outclassed. His way of looking at it has become he's horribly embarrassed, and all he can do is double down on his falsehoods as if he can just sway people by sheer force of dynamic anger. And what we're looking at is a little bit akin to a certain period in history that was traumatic. And I don't want to address that very much as we're really staying in a lighter energy today. But let's just remember he's remarkably clearly gone to the place where he is going to double down with his lies. And he is actually now calling for the deportation of innocent people. We need to pay attention to the parallels in history a little bit there. And I want to remark on one interesting point about this that I acknowledge I've noticed on a few channels. How we have it in the description in the book of Revelation in the Bible is that there's a certain not nice person who is going to somehow get people to mark their foreheads with his sign.
MAGA.
I'm telling you, what else? How much could you even have imagined some way it could occur?
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually have a hat that I like. I'm going to mention this really quickly.
I'm going to show you in big. I'm going to make you big.
I got sick of seeing the MAGA, so I thought it'd be nice to make Earth great again. So if anybody would like to put a better mark on their forehead, I can link you to where I got those hats.
I love that. I love that. Let me get us back. Let me get us back. Oh, we're very tiny. Oh, geez. I love that hat.
I thank you. I just wanted something. Really, I wanted one for me for the longest, and then I thought if anyone else wants them, I'll just have them available out there.
Oh,
Or you can
that's
do a
nice.
drop ship, print on demand type thing.
Yeah, that's right. It's on your website.
It will be. I haven't gotten around to it there yet. But yeah.
Okay. So I've got Carl. I have your question, and I'm going to bring it in a minute. I just saw a warrior girl. Did anyone see the interview by the Pope talking about the lesser of two evils? I shared it on my channel. Warrior, and that's your channel. Put your channel address. Is that your channel address? I want to go to your channel. I want to subscribe because apparently if you're here, you have subscribed to me. I want to return the favor. So I am definitely going to do that and encourage everyone else. That's interesting. I will dive into that. I appreciate it.
That sounds fascinating.
Yeah, it does. It does. Carl had, here we are. Do you see Pence confessing to everything Trump did this month or during his time? Because he can't confess anything if he's not a part of anything. So I don't think he's a part of it, but I think maybe they're considering bringing him in, maybe.
I have to say, I acknowledge this slightly about him. He has an honorable concept of himself. He feels as if he's doing the right thing when he tries to do the honorable idea. And I don't understand that he is letting himself be too privy to a lot of things. So ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is safe. Yet I understand he may surprise a few people, a lot of people. I like that he may.
Yeah. I think he will do it if asked by law. If asked by law.
He seems to have this really weird structure in his heart. I'm getting like his head is trying to command how his heart functions. And I'm noticing there's this whole little place in his heart that is just walled away from the rest of it. And I understand nothing about it except for he's got some sort of mental dividing line, compartmentalization he's got in place for his feelings, his emotions. And I don't know where that's going to head, but it's something a little bit concerning.
So Warrior Girl said, I can't share my link. That's okay. You don't have to share it. What you can do is put the name of your channel in the chat, and we all know to put it together and put the @ sign. The @ sign. We will find you. So if it's Warrior Girl Goddess 113, that's where I'm going to go after the show to get that link. And subscribe to you. Let me get my girlfriend up here. Yeah, he doesn't delude himself. There is something there. And Mary Trump had a good analysis. Trump debate. Okay, it's war. Okay, here it is. I'm going to write it down because I don't stay present during these shows. Warrior Girl / 13. So I'll do it at warrior girl _ 113. Awesome. Thank you. I didn't know that. It makes sense now that you say it. That's for sure. Oh, that's wonderful. While we wait for some more people coming in, it's been about 10 minutes. Is there anything else you want to touch base on? Are you running any specials? Do you have, because you have some things you offer, and there's so many times when we are in, both of us, when we're in our giving the stream of consciousness, when we're giving readings to you, we get so much more information than we can share. That I do hope you all thank you, Hypnicity, for putting Warrior Girls up there. I appreciate that. But I just want you to know that these little morsels we give, there's so much more behind that you might consider doing a little bit, going in a little bit farther. If it's truly a question you're pondering or a challenge you're facing, what we deliver here on YouTube, I won't speak for everybody, what I do is touch the surface, because this isn't the platform to go deep. And so it's just for entertainment anyway, so maybe that's all you need.
Well, I thank you so much, Debra. I came up with a thought about how I used to operate in our early days of knowing each other. I don't know if I've explained this before. I've known Debra over a decade, and we worked together in a brick and mortar store. And we got to be friends when I was doing astrology. I used her chart to get insight into this new person, this new arrival. And I was enchanted. I was charmed.
Oh.
The moment I glanced at her chart, I'm like, "You're so cool."
Oh, no. I didn't pay her to do that. She never said that before.
I really, really, really she's a very, very, very blessed blend of characteristics that cause her to be a remarkable human being as well as a remarkable advisor. I want to care enough to acknowledge something really quick before I address a little idea, a special to do with those days. I wanted to acknowledge a friendship that has been there superiorly for me through experiences that I don't even know how to express. There was something about this that I wanted to address, and I'm just going to put it very lightly. After I received the Holy Spirit, when I had to go live in the wilderness to learn about what that means, I did understand that for a while. I didn't understand I would ever go back to my old world, my old life, the people that I used to know. I disappeared. And we had a period of time where I didn't relate to human beings very much at all. If I could not do it, I chose not to. I was involved in how the Spirit was revealing the miraculous understanding of a responsive deity within the world who adores us and wants to help us enjoy our lives and serve in the interest of helping that being become a little bit more awareness for other people. So what happened was eventually I did kind of decide that there was some reason to begin reconnecting. And what I felt right away was Debra was who I wanted to reach out to. I feel like in a way I brought her with me from the old world because I still have her. And she found it in her heart when our resources back in those earlier days, neither one of us felt very solvent. And she reached into her pockets and she helped support me living a journey that she didn't ask me to make sense to her. She didn't ask me to explain myself. She didn't ever ask me to have a different idea than what she understood I was experiencing for a purpose. And I believe that she kept me in a place where I could feel more human care than I ever understood I would find in the world, in our lives here. And what I wanted to say was thank you so much to Debra. You kept me in your mind and your heart, even when I went off and became very, very strange. In in part because when I first received the Spirit, I had had an experience of becoming aware of I am. I went to a place where human interaction was agonizing, and it's a lot like being completely schizophrenic, but also aware of yourself. There's just so much, so much, so much to try to comprehend. And she helped me find that place back to a solid human being. And we wanted to just say thank you, Debra, because you've been so generous.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I didn't expect that. Thank you so much. You're such
You
a
are
sweetheart.
you're my constant. You're a touchstone. You're a
Oh,
reminder of reality where it is good and safe and non-judgmental and caring and compassionate and honest.
mm.
And I have had you talk me down at times and give me reasons to reconsider how I view things. And it's very seldom I've had a person in my life I trust as much
Oh,
to
thank
be
you.
real and to be worth listening to. So
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
now, what I was going to mention is back in those days, we had a special we do sometimes. Dollar, it was like $1 per minute readings, and I thought I'd run with that for a little bit
Okay.
because, as you were saying, there really is something in the way that we do the service here. It's a hard idea to go into things that are going to really cause a person to delve deep where it can be a little bit uncomfortable, but we also want to go in there in order to remove the discomfort. And to have one on one opportunities is a lot more beneficial. It is a
Mm.
lot more assistant to a meaningful transformation.
Right.
So I wanted to put that in reach of anyone who really would like to have that experience. So
That's
having
generous. That's very
as,
generous.
as long as it comes through this work that we're doing together, I think it's a great idea because I really do sometimes feel like there's so little that I can accomplish here, except for maybe give a boost. And I thank the Holy Spirit for reminding me the truth is the Holy Spirit can accomplish a whole lot more when we have an opportunity to actually visit in a personal, meaningful way.
Right.
And it really boils down to that. So whenever we have an idea that we really want to get to the root of something, give us a call or email, reach out, and I come up with a time frame when I'm ready. But for now, I'll just say that's going to be available.
Well, that's very generous of you to move into that. That's I hope everyone really heard what she just offered because nothing's in writing, and I don't think I'll put it in writing until there's an expiration date on that good offer. Because you will. That's a good offer. So $1 a minute,
You want 5 minutes? That's great. You want 90 minutes? That's great. You go over an hour, you got to allow a minute or two for me to let dogs in and out. That's about it.
that's good. Yeah, we're very casual about that. So I'm really happy that you're allowing people to enjoy that benefit. Um, yes, thank you, Bora Bora, for reminding people it's hashtag Holy Spirit. And how do we put this in? Maybe I can add it. Yeah, hashtag Holy Spirit. And then when your name is pulled, then we're going to look at the chat and wait for your question. If you've decided to walk away and you don't give me a question in a timely manner, then we'll just go on to the next. So if you do come back in, you'll have to put your hashtag in again because you can only have one. But if I choose you and nothing happens, that means you're kicked out. So yes, I believe that Marisol Perfect Health, that people are very compassionate and sincere in this community. Um, Definitely. Yeah, and Karen recognized. There we go. Okay, exclamation point 3 times $1 a minute. How cool is that? Karen got it. Karen got the magnitude. So how about we do the drawing tool and see what's going to happen. Let me go in and let me see if I can. Let me just see if I can just do it now. Nope, I have to go to the other. Okay, so I'm kind of new to this. Here we go. We're going to draw. Oh no, I won! Yay! I was when I put it in the chat because I wanted you to know what to do. But it feels good that I got confetti all over me. I appreciate
You
that. Okay. I
did.
did. Okay, now here we go. To be, yeah, draw again. Karen Doyle! Yay!
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, isn't it? I like
Mhm.
it. I like it a lot. So
what's your question, Karen?
we're yay, you're a winner. Oh wow, that's great. So whatever your question is, it could be like just a message because Holy Spirit has a lot to say, or it could be oh, thank you, Bora said, congratulations, Deborah. I love having confetti on my picture. So I'm looking for nerve wracking. It was almost me. Believe me, we're going to get to you, Carl. You're one of our favorites. Okay, so Karen says a message is perfect.
I thank the Holy Spirit. I want guidance for Karen or a message for Karen that is resonating with her heart and her spirit. You will love a person who doesn't exist in your heart just yet, someone who has a reason to be known to you soon. He is a good idea to notice. He will come in a gentle feeling way, and he has a reason to be involved in your life. He has no one to tell him anything about how he's going to be involved in your life. He just will fit. And I connect in this way with you. He has a role to play. It isn't so much a reason for a personal understanding with him. It is something he accomplishes to do for you, a service, an obligation he has in his heart to accomplish for you. And we notice that he has a reason to say something about lighter brown hair. And I believe he wants us to accomplish a little bit less about his appearance. You will notice him when you have a reason to seek help for a purpose you don't understand exists now. It is a good idea to just observe that you have something arising which you will want some help with. You will encounter him. He will be a great gift to you and a blessing as well. And God bless you. It's going to be a great idea to keep that in your mind. Did we lose Deb?
I'm sorry. I start talking and I'm not in the picture. That's not muted.
Oh,
I think that is so nice. I'm so glad. And it was just a real beautiful message. Karen says, thank you so much. That's awesome. And Carl says, oh, don't say that he is special. People are going to be jealous. You know what? Everyone here is special, but I'll tell you what happens. There are people who, when they get a message that resonates, that kind of moves the needle towards a higher understanding, a greater depth of understanding, and they express it, they honor us by expressing it, that it moved them into that next step. That means a lot to us. It means a lot to me. um, so so anyway, but I adore all of you. Not all of you are going to have epiphanies right now on here, but a lot of people have had them afterwards. So hi Sharon, thanks for coming. Anyway, that's the long and short of that. I think it's now I'm going to go ahead and start playing around again. Cynthia Smith, are you here, my dear? Cynthia, I'm going to make sure all the confetti is all over you because it feels great. Trust me. Okay. So, Cynthia, please write your question in the chat and we'll get right on it.
Did you discover this just recently? Just lately?
No, it's been around. It's been around since I researched. Sorry, it jumped. The message jumped.
Yeah.
Since I researched StreamYard and I studied that as well, but didn't really know how to use it. And I've been practicing.
Okay.
I've been practicing. So here we are.
All right. I thank the Holy Spirit to guide us to a message for Cynthia is as simple as this. Cynthia, we ask you, do you have a question in your heart you want to get to the root of? I'm asking because I notice there is one. I want to give you an opportunity to express it if you have a way to express it. And I notice what that way would be in there, in the chat. I give it.
I'll keep an eye on the chat, and then I'll come in and place it in the screen.
It is the chat. Okay, hold on. I feel like there's a reason that it's in my mind to give you an opportunity for a question, to give you a reason to ask yourself to analyze an emotional response to how you're feeling today in your heart, in your mind. And I want you to ask yourself if there's a particular way you can phrase a question, Cynthia. And it's not that there's not a reason to just give you any, I mean, I could say a lot, but I feel like if we can hone it in, it's going to be a little bit more of assistance to you this day. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Ness. I'm going to let my mind go to where I could see the question if we don't hear back exactly. I'm letting it be. I'm clearing my mind about it. It has something to say about a purpose of a reason in the heart to answer for someone who isn't. Okay, well, that's even simpler. Thank you, Cynthia. And I thank the Holy Spirit for the guidance. I thank you so much for your question. You do have a reason to be aware it's going to be a joyous celebration to get moving. It helps to change patterns that have gotten a little bit in your mind, like I don't really want to keep all these patterns. And I feel like this is almost opening the door to a new way of being that you're going to let yourself embrace in a joyful celebration. We want to share a light feeling about it. I'm getting an idea of motion, a lot of motion. And it has something to say about getting into a feeling in your form that is more how you'd really like to feel in your form. And I want to share also, when I say form, I mean body. And I want to share also that we like how the new energy is going to be responding to you. There's a little bit of a back and a forth feeling, a little bit more like you're going into a place that wants to listen to you and be responsive to what you're asking of the world around you. So I like the feeling. I like the feeling quite a lot, and I thank the Holy Spirit for that.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello?
That was really good. That was really wonderful. Let me just move into, I hope that serves you well, my dear. Warrior girl, goodness. I love that. Make sure you enjoy that confetti, my dear. So if you have a question, a specific question, please put it in now. Warrior girl. Oh, here we go. Cynthia says, thank you. I understand.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I know, Carl. I saw your name too. It adds attention, doesn't it? So, gosh, I think some people
Oh,
get
oh
distracted.
boy.
Oh, here we go.
There is a
I,
great.
I would love to know how to handle abusive MAGA loved ones. Oh, this. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving on this one. You.
I thank the Holy Spirit for the guidance. I would begin by putting a lot of my opinions aside. I have a lot of opinions and feelings, and I just want to make sure I'm giving what the Holy Spirit would guide here. So I'm doing that right now. There's a few. How to handle abusive loved ones who are aligning with the MAGA energy. All right. There's a trauma these people are afraid of. They're scared to death and they don't even identify with why. They have it that they're looking for an identification of something to point a finger at and be terrified of. And how they have this is there's been a longing, a quest inside of them to get away from here for a very long time. They find it dissatisfying to enjoy the world the way that a lot of us want to, where we celebrate it's a miraculous existence, it's a miraculous place that responds to us and loves us, allows us to live like beings who really do enjoy being here. They really are scared. And I begin from the standpoint of recognizing it's a little bit like approaching being near an abused animal. They don't have to have a reason or an excuse for that feeling. There are some major events occurring in a higher plane than we need to address today that are helping to align people in many different ways. And a few of those alignments can be represented by the colors we're using in our political landscape right now, where we're looking at an idea of red and blue. What we're looking at, for some reason, I want to describe what I'm seeing here. There's like the red side, we've got two banks coming up from a creek. The red side's a lot lower. It's a lot lower. And the blue side is climbing, climbing. And what I want to tell us about this is that doesn't mean the red is smaller. It does mean the red is diverging. It's heading in a new direction. We won't be reclaiming a lot of people who are living in that fear. We won't be doing that by asking them to explain themselves. They can't. They won't be able to. They may come around. There, where something occurs that changes a heart is from a spiritual plea to be understood. When we receive that from them, oh my goodness, have it in our hearts to hear them. They will find a way to answer when they are there, when they are ready to say they do want to celebrate an existence in the third dimension. They may be able to come to that. When they can't answer, there is no reason to hurt yourself. You won't find it possible unless the miracle is in the spirit helping right now. You will find it possible, but it's so frustrating. And the enlightenment you can offer them is so slim compared to the chance that they believe they're on the right side, on the best side, battling the darkness, battling the devil. They love it. They love it. They are wrong. They are wrong. Yet they love it. They believe it. And it happens that when a person wholeheartedly believes something like this, they can find their way to a heavenly reward, to an afterlife that is a happier one than we think. And it just happens that when we have a little more complex and nuanced view of right, wrong, good and evil and all of that, we sometimes have a different idea about how that works. We're not going to see a reason to think of them as evil as much as hurt, injured, terrified individuals who are terrifying when they mess up. So let's do our honest level best to give them a little bit of insight when we can, and otherwise just let them be because God has a plan.
So, how I deal with feeling bad about anything, the emotions you mega people can bring up in a peaceful heart is amazing. And it could go to 0 to 60 pretty quick. Because we love them, just like what Warrior Girl said, we love them so much that we just, if we could only say the right combination of words, and then they'll react back, that hurts our feelings because they're not even the people we used to know. But there's a way to gain distance. And if you could remember this, what I do, and you can do it any form you want, as long as you have this bumper sticker saying that helps you find the middle. And my bumper sticker saying is, I would sure hate, I feel bad and I would sure hate to have to endure their life review. I fully expect to have my own life review when I pass away. I believe everyone does. And imagine the tears in heaven when they're able to witness the whole picture and not just a narrow bit. So if you can hold that space, that might help. I'm not sure. So just yes. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank the Holy Spirit.
And I can't really read the yes, Deborah. I also say the same thing. Hey, water lily. Yeah, it's almost like a pity or something like that, but I don't want to say pity because they're here for a reason too. But yeah, thank you for that. Now, Karen was saying soul contract, and I think that's true to some degree, but we have so many options to choose differently. I mean, our soul contract isn't just written on one piece of paper, it eddies out in many ways.
It does connect superficially. I'm just going to mention a concept that I'm going to address sometime on my channel. There's a reason that we understand to allow ourselves to notice reincarnation, yet there are some souls that don't believe in reincarnation, that don't use reincarnation. And it comes down to an understanding of creation is, on the one hand, a project, and in another perspective, it's a solution to the separation from the divine, from the creator. And we don't know exactly how to express it in a short enough format to say much more about it here. But it aligns with some of the things we're discussing, and it's a fun topic, I think.
Oh, thank you for the compliment. And here is hypnicity. You don't have to agree with me to be loved by me. That's the ultimate thing. Yeah. That's what I shoot for too. But when I can't live up to that, and I have to have these little things to say so I can back up far enough from my own emotions. So, but that is the goal. That is the goal.
I want that bumper sticker.
I love it. I love it. Okay, time for something is another one. Thank you so much. Let me go back and draw again. Bora Bora, yay! Wonderful. She's our beautiful, beautiful moderator. So I am going to remove this and then look for your question in the chat. This is exciting. Yay. I know, Carl, right? Ness says yay too. Oh, great. What would you like? So she says she's here. What would you like to, is there a specific question or do you want just a message? I'm kind of annoyed with this banner. I don't know if you guys are. Just make sure it's entertainment purposes only. Duh. So she's pondering.
All right.
She's pondering. Our Bora Bora is pondering. Here you are. Here you are.
Oh, my.
Would like help with elder abuse involving my landlady. Wonderful question.
I thank the Holy Spirit for help with Bora Bora's concern. We are aware of your concern having a foundation in a maybe major idea ahead. You want to allow an avenue to open up that permits you to care in a manner that is going to be conducive to creating a beneficial experience for your landlady, for the person being abused. We want to care about this just enough to help you out here, so let's do this the best way. You want to concern yourself enough to gather information without having too much involvement. You want to allow yourself to gather the information in a righteous way, but whatever is permitted where you live, where you are, if it allows for, say, recording, You allow yourself to discover what is permitted and you make use of that ability. Now, you don't have to examine this like it is solely on your shoulders. The shoulders that are actually going to bear this are the shoulders of the angels who are hearing your request and coming to your aid post haste. They're aware of this being something that has been in your heart for a little while. They want to take care of something about this that has to do with letting abuse occur is totally foreign to you, and you want to allow it to be something that you can change. So we're going to have to enable the change. And the next step is to make yourself aware of what is available to you to utilize to get the information assembled and gathered and very well composed. And then you're going to see what you can do about an elder abuse resource. And I don't know exactly which one. I do understand it is, I understand about that. I see that comment. I notice that what we have is a reason. I'm getting the word church in my heart. I want to see what there is about that. It's about noticing. It's not always going to be the best idea to simply go to a government agency and say, please take action. It can help. We can also get other human beings of compassionate nature aware of the circumstances. And I am talking about people who don't even have a reason to be involved except for the spirit moves them and guides them to do so. You want to allow yourself to notice. You can reach out in many directions to involve people of compassionate heart, and God blesses you for any small step you are able to take to help this person, this being. You notice that were we ever in that position ourselves, we would pray for someone like Bora Bora, and we want to notice that you're going to receive a salvation entry that you don't expect for it. I don't know what that means.
That is good information. The thing is, I feel that Bora, you are the one being abused. I know you said landlady. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because the abuse is there. I just want to wait a minute. Carl says he had the worst experience with his landlord who cut off his water, electricity, oh my gosh, 2 weeks on my rent. I'm late 2 weeks on my rent. Even if I paid the utility company, I moved out. I again would not like to endure their life review. We'll start there, but you can you can complain. Excuse me. You can complain anonymously. And when you said church, I was thinking, oh yeah, because if someone has a church membership or someone who of supportive people around them, it's like the landlady can't take on the church, right?
It is simply put like this. Imagine you get to connect with someone who has compassion and care and says, I get what you're experiencing and I want to help by coming by and being involved, and let somebody try to demonstrate that kind of energy with me there. Having somebody else involved.
I forget what it's called, ad litem. You can get a guardianship. There's a lot of options. And I know you're afraid of losing your housing because of it. But we change our life at the level of action, not wishes. But I know you're in a really tight spot. And we are all, interesting. Sorry. We are all keeping you in our prayers. Criminal activity. It's complicated. If there's criminal activity, you could go to you can go to the police department and be anonymous. You can have your friends that experience the same thing sign a paper, sign a letter, and you can take those letters in. You can go to your council members. You can go to your mayor. I always go to my mayor. She works for me, man. And so I just go down and say, we got to talk. And your government officials, your city officials are there for you. And there are people who will who will support you and investigate. I wish I could pick you up and hug you right this minute, because that sounds so stressful, because you can't get away from it. It's your housing.
I feel like I have an idea here that I got a little bit on a different track, because I felt like Bora Bora has that compassionate heart, and I'm just assuming I'm seeing her with wings reaching out to surround someone else. And I'm wondering if I notice now how we could best serve is to ask directly in the Holy Spirit, do we have an answer or a solution for this abusive person in Bora Bora's life? How to resolve specifically this direct abusive human being? I thank the Holy Spirit. You want to remember that you are going to gather the information regardless. When you present it where it actually helps is when it's going to make a difference. And it does come down to finding the people of compassion to get involved, even when they don't know why they're being asked to get involved. It's simple. They have the heart and the compassion to help. And going into dangerous, scary places is a part of who they are. If you're really, really, really aware it's that, oh, bless your heart. This is a terrible situation y'all are in. This is a terrible situation. I really hope we get to see the involvement come. And I'm going to go again and say it has something of a feeling of getting people of great conviction involved. And I do want to mention that it does feel more like a civilian operation. It does feel more like having people who are aligned with the Holy Spirit getting involved. And I don't know how to go further with it just yet. It means a step to reach out and connect where compassion exists for you. And you will find it. It doesn't hurt to look a little bit.
And maybe call the police or go to the police when it's actually happening, so she can start having consequences. If you just go to her lawyer is going to defend her. Yeah. So so action is the best part. But I'm going to tell you something. One weekend I was house sitting and I wanted to do something different, so I chose a person in history to study all weekend. It was fascinating. Oh gosh. Harriet Tubman from the Underground Railroad. I studied her, and she was so religious, so honest, that when she was running her work at the night, her father, the authorities would come around to her father and say, "Have you seen your daughter?" And he never wanted to lie. So whenever Harriet comes to visit, he would blindfold himself. And he would visit with his daughter blindfolded, because the only thing they asked, "Have you seen your daughter?" So that's the integrity she's coming from. Now, there was one day, I mean, this master took her babies and all that stuff. She had such a time, but she kept solid with God. And one prayer she made was this. She said, oh my Lord, if you cannot change his heart, get rid of him so he's out of my way, or out of our way. And shortly after that, this man passed away. She thought she was the one that did that, and she felt terrible about it. Isn't that something? But there were kind people around her too, because she did have to take a real train, and the conductor was coming through, and she wanted to pretend that she was not ignorant, that she was educated. So she held a newspaper up, pretending to read it. And there was a man across from her that came over and moved. She had that paper upside down, so he placed it right side up. So there's support around you, is what I'm saying. I just feel I wanted to tell you that story. But oh gosh.
Would you be kind enough, Deborah, to go back and highlight a comment from Warrior Girl Goodness at 147 timestamp about
Is that
That's
it?
the one. That's the one. If I felt anything most strongly in that, it was the word church, and it was
Yeah.
that feeling of getting significant people involved. And I did identify it as they're coming from something to do with a church type of feeling. So thanks, Warrior Girl.
Awesome. Wow. God bless you. And this is why we have this community, so we can share each other's story and be able to support each other, because prayer is amazing. Very powerful. Just ask Harriet. I'm sorry. Sorry, couldn't help that. So someone, I think it was Hypnicity, asked when my book is coming out. It's going to come out, it's being shipped out, those of you who pre-ordered, on the 28th of this month. But I was invited to do that marathon for democracy, Psychics for Democracy. And I was thinking, oh, I need to do something to launch my book. I was thinking me on all day on my own channel. She goes, no, we'll get you all the way around the world and stuff. I'm, well, okay. So that's what I'm going to be doing on the 28th is they're allowing me to promote my book.
That is
So yeah,
fantastic.
that was such a blessing. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm very excited about it. Thank you for
Yay!
asking. Okay. So I wanted to segue off to that. Oh, good. You are in America. There are laws for everyone, even people who have subsidized housing. So, um, yeah. So Carl says it's an old house, more expensive than I can afford. It's very peaceful. Landlady loves cats, so I'm a bit more stable till October, if I used my deposit fingers. So we're going to pray for you too, for a lot of abundance. The shift is changing. When we change into the democracy part of being more of a democracy, the services are going to be greater, and the hearts are going to be softer. So I do believe there's going to be some changes with all of these astrological messages as well. Um, yes. Okay. So are you ready for another? Or are you seeing something in the chat you want me to?
There's just so much very interesting support coming in the
Go
chat.
ahead and tell me what to highlight. I don't have my glasses on if you want.
It's just all of
Just
it. I don't even know where to start. Just seeing the outpouring of care and interest in seeing a better solution coming is incredible, and it's beautiful to see.
yeah. Yeah, and there are people who have experienced that too. I've been
Yeah.
close to that as well. Um, much rather do what I'm doing for money than go to a corporation for money. But there's a price to pay for that. You lower your standard of living so you're comfortable enough to do what you love. And easy for me, my numbers point that direction. It might be difficult for others, but um, we've been there. So let me. We have a few minutes left. Thank you, Bora Bora, for sharing yourself with you. I got to tell you, I've asked Bora Bora if I could do a reading for her to thank her for all she's done for me. And she just silently, quietly works in the background, supporting my channel by being a moderator. And I appreciate you so much, so very much. Um, so let's choose someone else. And maybe it's going to be Carl. Carl, Carl. Carl, hey. No, I didn't do anything. I can't do anything. You just enjoy that confetti going all over your cute little yellow body. Yay. Okay, I'm looking forward to your question, sweetheart. I'm so happy. Oh, we have a rooster.
Yeah, they were doing a little showdown a little while before we got on today. I was yelling out the door, I'm awake.
I'm awake. Look at me. I got you, Carl. May I have a message from Mother Mary with regards to being financially independent? Is it coming soon, or do I wait till December for the tide to turn? Like the guides have told me last month, timelines kind of go in and out, but I'm going to go ahead and leave the room and leave you two together.
I thank the Holy Spirit. I'm going to trust that it's okay to go ahead and tell you this. My very first instinct, Carl, was to notice whether you've ever had your astrological chart done. And I feel like there is some illuminating information available there. I don't know if you happen to have your birth time and location on hand today. If you do, I don't care at all about taking a quick glance at that myself. It feels like there's something in the energy to have an awareness of that can help hone in on where to take a timing question a little bit more clearly. While we see, if you want to put out all your information, that's great. We'll do that. But let me go ahead and see where we're going from the Holy Spirit. I thank the Holy Spirit. Notice that we are giving you an idea that it's good to do your chart. We will give a glance. Yet you asked for a message from Mary. And we are asking in the Holy Spirit, can Mother Mary give any guidance right now? Does Mother Mary have a worry about, she has no worry about Carl having more financial stability because he is less aware of it than he feels like he is, being a struggle. He is rather better at enjoying the small things than the average human being. This is a blessed state of being. It is a mindset that we encourage people to develop. We encourage this understanding. When we have the understanding that a little is great, less is more, we become so much richer in the spirit than we could be any other way, any other way. And you will do so well when you come up. You can care a lot less about being a little bit on the shallower side when it comes to the funds here and now. But let's go ahead and take a glance at your chart. It is okay to do this. I thank you so much for providing your info. Let me jot it down and get the chart open. Hold on just a moment. I didn't think I was going to go into astrology these sessions.
So you do that, and I'll talk to you about your numbers because you're a master number 22. And the good part about that is you can build what you dream of, literally build it. If you dream about a doghouse, you can build it. Yeah, there's ways, these different steps to build it, but there has to be proactive. And also, the shadow side of that is, please forgive me, stubbornness. So it's almost like the trouble that comes with a master number is you're born, any master number, you're born under this gun, like you have to do something big and all of that stuff, and you feel I'm not getting enough done, but that can cause paralysis as well. So when but there's a lot to share about that. But I do want you to go online. You can email me and we'll take this a little deeper. Um, but go online and study yourself because there's good, there's bad, not bad, there's, where you don't use it as well. And so inside that information, you're going to go, oh, I get it. And then it could be just one single action after that realization that can unstick you, unstick you. But I'm going to go ahead and go away now.
Well, I am impressed by my memory of this in that it's really, really clear. We've got a lot going on, Carl, in your second house. Your second house is related to your material security as well as your values, what you value, what is most important to you. And you've got a heck of a lot happening with your eighth house, which is more about financial investments, property, real estate, shared resources. And it could be like if you're renting, it has to do with that kind of thing. I want to share a light feeling first. You've gone through the most major part of the transformation regarding personal resources and a moral quandary, which has been sort of remade into something more conducive to your blessings. We have a little bit of a feeling of there's still a struggle with caring about the material. And I kind of understand this because I do feel like you're maybe wanting to be a little bit more enlightened than having the material be permitted to matter a whole lot. There is, however, in a blessed way, a material world sea change on the horizon. When I say on the horizon, I'm not going to give you it's imminent, it's in development. And it's in development in such a way that I think you're going to experience a pretty dramatic and very pleasing transformative sea change in the year ahead. We do want to acknowledge that it's going to be a good idea to give in to the places where you've got to be very strict with yourself, a little bit authoritarian with yourself, because we did notice some energy with it's a pleasing enough energy, but it's Saturn in the eighth house. Saturn is sort of like earn it. That's how Saturn likes to put it down. And what he does is he makes it seem like you got to do the hard stuff and you sort of really feel grumpy about it until you give him just a little, give him an inch. And he'll get pleased enough to start feeling like, all right, I know this isn't the most natural feeling for you, but this hard Saturn energy is pleased that you're rewarding me with attention. Sometimes a little attention to that hard energy is pleasing enough to start making an easier path happen. I don't know what else. The line render unto Caesar is coming to mind. It essentially means give what's due where you're able to give what's due and allow yourself to accept that's just kind of a little toll for the experience of being in this society that we're in. And then please yourself with understanding what you're doing is solidifying your ground little by little. And trust, you want to think of it like this little by little, we do without doing, and everything gets done. So the next thing you want to allow yourself to do is capture that feeling. It's not going to take moving a mountain, little by little. So the next step, it's a little step, little by little. Allow yourself to conceive of it and step with it. And I think you're going to maybe be able to move that sense of security up a lot closer to now. And I thank the Holy Spirit.
That's awesome. So I want to expand on this. This is very interesting. So with the number 22, there are 2 2s, right? And so the 2 energy is losing your way with boundaries, right? You overgive a lot of things. Now, you did mention earlier here, this is so I should have been rich by now, Debra. Yes, stubborn. No. What it is just not recognizing your glory. You think everyone's like you. So when you have a blessing, when you have a superpower, you think, well, everybody does that. Let me give you an example. Down here, I see here that I may have gotten this wrong because I didn't follow the feed, but you said, yes, I dabble with that. And then you said 12 cats to take care of. So understand, I'm just using the cats as an example. If your fascination is cat care or the behavior or whatever, you have built in blessings when you were born to be able to serve others with that information. You observe things differently than everyone else. Please get that through your heart and mind, because we are all very unique. We hear it, but we think, oh no, we try to be the same, so we're not, the tribe keeps us close. But we are very unique between our upbringing, between our own experiences in life, our numbers, our choices, all of that makes us very unique. So as an example, if you wanted to be prosperous, I can just see, I can't seem to, wait. I want to have an animal shelter. Good. Okay, now You can build that. You're a master number 22. You can build that. Just what the message was from Kayleigh. It's just a small step. But when I say at the level of action to open something like that, I'm sensing that it would be more of a sanctuary and rehoming situation. So whatever your vision is, the level of action is simply to go to your computer or your phone, the internet, and find out where in the world you would like to live to be able to be on site with that sanctuary. You see what I'm saying? You just do the research, and then you go ahead and reverse engineer everything once you find out some numbers, how much the property is and all that stuff. And don't let it scare you, because you just reverse engineer all of that and start getting your grants, requesting grants. And you have the mind, tenacity, and patience for that. So maybe I should leave you with that.
I noticed there was one last little comment I wanted to give Carl. I think I remember something we had addressed before about 4 months out for something, a development regarding career, your aims in career. I just noticed that astrology is affirming a time frame in January, about 4 months out. And I just want to acknowledge it's involving that Saturn energy, so that little by little, the idea is start getting something solid created, little bit at a time, and look forward to a really supportive, prosperous energy, allowing some assistance to come early in the coming year. So I think that we're looking at something really pretty cool.
So what you can do about this, Carl, because Carl just wrote, for those who are just listening, New Orleans, ? Susan Lynn told me I'm going to be making movies there. Well, if you want to do whatever your fascination, it doesn't matter what your fascination is. It's that you make steps to even just research it. Some people think, oh, it's too big, I want to be a movie star, or whatever it is. Don't do that. The first step you do is to earn enough money for classes and contact, because when you go into classes and workshops, you have contacts. And but anyway, you could, what's that astrocartology that shows what part of the world you are? I don't know if you believe in that.
I'll say this. I'm familiar with the concept. I will not brag on my particular skill with it. As little as I've accomplished with it, all I can say is it's kind of interesting, yet I don't know if it yields as much reward as simply observing that we are in different seasons at different times in our experience. And it's like astrology is a weather. Astrology is like weather. And I feel like the weather has a lot more to say to do with timing. Location is relevant, but we can relate to that energy a lot of different ways. However, I'm not an expert in it. That is not an area I explored enough at all.
That's why I'm in the treasure hunting business, Deborah, so I can have the funds to finance myself. Right on. I had a client that would call me. Don't laugh. She's a pretty cool client, but she loved antique boots. She was in the South, and so she'd go to the stores and she'll get these little boots or trendy kind of steampunk things and make them up and restore them and then sell them. And she was always calling about what she should price them. I don't know why, but we had fun with that. Up until now, you're poor, Carl, because this is an 8 universal year. Next is the 9 universal year, and you are also in a 3 personal year. So the universal year is America, the world, and your personal year is 3, which is all this creativity in your mind. If you're not acting on the creativity, then you'll feel pretty stuck next year, because that you're entering a 4. But anyway, I adore all of you. What a time. What a great time we've had with our little giveaway tool. I appreciate all of you. And want to remind you that you can get a hold of Kayleigh for that special she's running. I don't know for how long, but take advantage of that at $1 per minute, as little as 5 minutes. So you can, oh, that's sweet. Carl, you guys have given me so much inspiration to work with. Yes, to work hard. It's not working. Your working hard is super duper working hard. To the rest of us, we don't work that hard. So understand that, just like we said, one little step, one little step is, and that action could just be going to the keyboard and typing in some information.
And
we're rooting for you.
Yeah, have the confidence. This is the time in life when you're being supported to give that kind of action and make real meaningful transformation be experienced.
Yes.
It's a good idea to go ahead and get started.
Absolutely. Thank you for everyone for sharing so much of yourselves with us. I feel so much closer, and I appreciate your sincerity and your dedication. I really appreciate you coming on Sundays for at 11 for my church. Not that it's church, but I think the group that's forming is very, very supportive. And if you just click in every now and again, you'll get to feel that love, that universal love. Thank you, Kayleigh, for coming in and sharing your gifts with the higher octaves. I really appreciate you. So until next week, take advantage. You email her. All of her information is in the show notes. So email or whatever with her, and don't go to her website, because that deal is not on her website. You won't be able to do it. So just it's just between us. You can share it, but just between us. All right. So I am going to dance off stage and see you next week. I'll be with Allie tomorrow. Would love to see you there. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Love you.
Bye.